Hello everybody and welcome. This is Freevoto Max and doing a video on IVS and SMD, and currently we're in IVS, or Intelligent Video, and I'm not going to play a whole bunch, but to give you an idea, if we press play, this here actually set it off. It's actually a skunk. Now there are other cameras that are intelligent that wouldn't set it off, but this is not an intelligent camera, so the skunk set it off, and dog set it off, and cat set it off, and well, you get the point. Fast forward it, so there's a car. Oops, no, that's slow. We don't want to slow it. We want to go fast. Alright, so let's go 16 times so we can go through a few. So there's a cat, set it off, another cat, a person, a skunk again, another cat, and another cat, and another cat, and a car, and a car, and a car. Alright, so you're getting the point, right? And that was a rabbit, and a car, and a car. Alright, so let's press stop there. Now, let's look at the way I have it set up currently. So currently I have it set up with this grid, and when there's motion, so we'll do search, we will eliminate these, we're going to do all, and actually let's delete all, put in motion only, because as you see there is no general. Okay, now with this, you see how it turned blue, so this is now intelligent, and this is meaning that all of the stuff that's going to come up was determined to either be, in this case, a motor vehicle, and some of them will be motor vehicle and person, where if you look here, if I uncheck this one and check this one, you see over here at like 5 o'clock, there's, a few that are added in there. So around 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock, there's more. So anyway, I'll leave that one on, and we'll play back some of this. And we'll speed this up. And now mind you, you'll notice that there won't be any cat or any skunk or any dog. These will all be cars or people. And that's because this was, with the intelligent turned on for, people or vehicles. And so with that said, that's one of the things, and one of the positive things about having, smart motion detection. And it'll lower all of your alerts. You see how this tree here is, shaking, and if you had your grid, it would be going off, and you'd have multiple alerts. And now, mind you, I do run this in color at night, but if it was in IR at night, during the time that it switches to the IR, it would actually trigger a motion event. When it switches out of the IR, it would trigger a motion event. With it on smart motion, if it wasn't a human or a car, then it wouldn't have a trigger. And when you get an alert to your cell phone, you know that it was a good trigger. Now, let's think about, the driveway, which I'm not going to show. But, let's think about the driveway and having smart motion detection on that. When, a human comes up the driveway, and you get a motion event for channel 2, you know that there's a human on the driveway. And if that's something that you need to be alerted about, then that's kind of important. So that's one of the benefits of having the SMD and IVS. As you see, doing a search, looking at channel 2, channel 3, and channel 4, there's not as much traffic as there is on 1. And, if you're getting notices sent to your phone or even to an email, and you have this many events through the day, that's a lot of stuff to go through. And depending on how you have your, emails set up, the size of photos being sent, that can go through email servers bandwidth pretty quick. So for me, I use push notifications in general, and the benefit to that is when there's a push, it's pretty much immediate. So let me real quick turn on push notifications for a car. Give me a second here. Push notifications, configuration. Turn that on. Image. Now, the good thing is let's hypothetically say you only want to know, when it's coming down your driveway, that it's a human. You don't really care about the car because maybe you have another camera that, has captured something prior. So in your driveway, maybe you have an entryway into your driveway that's already captured. But you want to know if there's, somebody that got out of the car and is now walking down your driveway, and, you can actually set it up to only give alerts for, for a particular type of event. So I was just turning up my alerts, and also I'll turn on the audio. And you see the van that just went by, or the vehicle that just went by, set off the alert, and it's really quick. Now, when I click on, the smart home motion, I actually get, little images that play out like, a video. And that's how quick and that easy that is. And just to show that it's not a fluke, wait for another vehicle to come by. You'll hear the alert. If another vehicle does come by. And it is Friday at 7:45, so people are at home barbecuing or have already returned home, and traffic is a little bit slower at this hour. Now, normally, without SMD turned on, that bird would actually set off the motion detection. And I actually have doves that are roosting or nesting. Yeah, nesting on top of, or yeah, on top, around, behind the camera that this is recording with right now. So when they were setting up their nest, every time they would fly off or fly on, you would see, them come in. That's of course because, you're monitoring, you're watching what's going on. But there was no alerts. Now, like I said, if I was only on motion only, then of course there would be alerts. Now, in theory, the kid there on the little scooter should set it off, and it isn't because I did adjust it. So if we look, so let's go back to test, and now the kid's gone, but I actually turned it off because, there's some kids that play on the street during the week, and I didn't want to get a bunch of alerts when, the kids were playing in the street. So I adjusted it a little bit. Now, that one did set off 2 alerts, and that's because, they came to a complete stop and then continued on. So theoretically, that was 2 motions, but in general, there is only 1 motion. And, I might be able to make some adjustments to the anti-dither. I know that on my 7108, which I normally have facing at this location and recording this scene, here comes another car. And that's how fast the alerts are. So that's one of the reasons I definitely love the push notifications over getting emails. One of the things that people complain about emails is that it, sometimes takes forever before you get an email. And I guess that's because maybe some people don't realize that, an email isn't an instant thing. An email works off of spooling. Your one, the device has to send the email. 2, the receiving server has to accept that email. Then, if, say for instance, you've already spooled and, received an email, there's a time delay. There's a time in between each checks. And, it could be that the system just checked for an email and it's in between. So, all right, until next time, thanks for watching. This is Reba to Max. Be safe.